after a whole day of playing Let's Make a Deal, we play the game of Family Feud, the Julius Family Feud, rather. Stu Julius, GM of the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. They come in town to play against Kyle Julius's London Lightning right here at Budweiser Gardens. Good evening, folks. This is Aaron Sanders with Chris Croucher. And Chris, we are about 24 hours removed from the trade deadline. Neither of these teams have made major trades of lack thereof, but however, Kitchener-Waterloo got one Arsenal, and his name is Ed Horton, who used to play for London.
Well, a familiar face for Lightning fans. Ed Horton's been fantastic in his time here with the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans, and he's always been a good scorer. Before he came to London, when he was a member of the PBL, he was one of the best scorers in that league. When he came to London, he kind of played more of a point guard role, whereas in Kitchener, I think they've given him a little bit more control of his own game. He's able to go and try and create his own shot. He's able to take advantage of those opportunities, and that's what he's done so far. Had 30 points in the debut, and you know he's going to be motivated tonight.
And that school game really did wonders for him, like you said, against Niagara. They sit at an 11-13 record, third in the division. We switch over to the London Lightning. No changes whatsoever. They're still the cream of the crop, the Central Division, but Marcus Capers is set to return tonight.
Well, I mean, if you're the London Lightning, why would you need to change anything? They're 20-4 right now. They're one of the more dominant teams we've seen in the NBLC's history. And I think Marcus Capers, he's a guy who never really went away. His presence in the locker room has always been felt because he's still buddies with these guys. So I think he's a guy who's going to come in here and fit in seamlessly just because they already know him. They know what they're getting out of him. And they've kind of needed that guy who could be a defensive stopper. They've done a great job in terms of their team effort. But I think they needed that guy to come in and be that lockdown defender, that guy you can put on whoever you're playing's best player. And I think Marcus Capers provides that for the Lightning.
And they've been doing it recently. They have won 2 straight since losing at Windsor last week. So once again, the London Lightning back on the same page, if you want to say that. But now we go over to the keys of the game tonight. If you're Kitchener-Waterloo, what do you have to do to accomplish an upset right here?
I think it's going to come down to perimeter defense. The London Lightning, one of the better shooting teams in this league, and that's how they've been able to beat Kitchener in the past. London's 3-1 against the Titans, and a lot of that has come from their shooting. So I think for Kitchener, you lock down those shooters, then you just got to kind of hope against Royce White that he doesn't beat you inside, which is very possible. But I mean, it starts with getting those shots stopped at the three-point line, then work your way in defensively.
They're winners of 3 of their last 5. Kyle Julius's London Lightning. What do they have to do to stave off Kitchener-Waterloo and win 3 straight here tonight?
I think ball movement. Kitchener uses a lot of different wing players. So I think if you're the London Lightning, you want to move the ball, make them run as much as they can. They're going to be long defenders, but you can create a mismatch if you have some speed players out there against them. And if you move the ball, that just means extra ground that the defenders are going to have to cover because ball's always going to move faster than a guy running. So I think if you move the ball around, if you're the London Lightning, you can create those opportunities against this team.
And absolutely. And so we spin this tale once again, the KW Titans and the London Lightning. Brendan and Chris Croucher will have the call, and I will see you folks at halftime. But for now, we go with the anthem and then the starters, and then it's game time, my friends. Enjoy the game. I'll see you at halftime. We'll be back here on Nordstrom.tv.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening and welcome to Budweiser Gardens for tonight's National Basketball League of Canada game featuring the visiting Kitchener-Waterloo Titans and your London Lightning. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we would like to introduce the officials for tonight's game. Would you please welcome Mr. Dave Maxson, Mr. Rob Caparici, Mr. Rich Steller. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we would ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the singing of the Canadian National Anthem to be performed by Ms. Nicole Butts.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With loving hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Not keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Once again, boys and girls, Ms. Nicole Butts.
Lightning fans, Children's Health Foundation is dedicated to raising and granting funds.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to today's NBL broadcast of the hometown London Lightning versus the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. Chris, London coming off 2 wins in a row after a disappointing loss in Windsor. What are we looking for here against Kitchener-Waterloo to come out with a win?
Well, if we're looking at tonight's game, for London, you just got to do what you've done against Kitchener for a while. A lot of their key contributors are, if not the same players, those players who have been swapped out have very similar styles. So I really don't think you need to change too much about your game plan based on your previous games against the Titans. So for London, it's going to be about executing that game plan, making sure you do everything right, and making sure you do the things that your team does well. I mean, before it was you had to cover Ricky Tarrant at point guard, now you have to cover Ed Horton at point guard. So there hasn't been a huge shift in how you game plan against them. For the Titans, I think coming up against London, they are one of those teams that has a win against the Lightning. They managed to do that very early in the season, but not many teams have been able to beat the London Lightning since then. And for KW, I think it comes down to making your shots. You have to make sure that you don't force any shots. All of them have to be open looks. I think if you start forcing the shots, and if you're a little undisciplined on the offensive end, that's where you're going to kind of shoot yourself in the foot a bit if you're the KW Titans. So it's going to be about having a very disciplined, efficient offense.
KW coming off a tough loss at home to Niagara, a team that's chasing them in the standings right now for a playoff spot. You have elaborated already over what they need to do to beat the Lightning tonight. Let's go back to the Lightning and talk about Marcus Capers. First game back, returning from the suspension. What do you expect him to bring to the table for the Lightning?
A stopper. Marcus Capers hasn't always been a big offensive threat, and I don't think it's a stretch to say he might not be one of the best scoring players on the Lightning based on some of the talent that they have. But for Capers, he's always been one of the better defenders in the NBLC. He's been able to play the 4 spot and cover power forwards before, and he's just as comfortable playing the wing and covering shooting guards. So I think he's a guy who's versatile, plays his defense a lot of different ways, and he's kind of something the Lightning didn't have in that they can throw him out there and just lock down on your opposing team's best player. So if you're coming into this game, Ed Horton might be a little quick to try him, but a guy like Adam Wing might be finding Marcus Capers in that long wingspan out, just ready to stop him.
You've mentioned Ed Horton a couple times already, former London Lightning player. 30 points in his debut game with the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. What does he bring to the table that they didn't have before?
Well, I think it's not so much what he brings that they didn't have before. I think it's replacing what they've lost. When Ricky Tarrant, he got his contract to leave the NBLC, and you bring in Ed Horton. He's a very similar player. There's not a ton different about the way they play, so it doesn't really shift your team too much in either direction. But with Horton, you get a guy who's much more experienced, much more of a veteran. So when it comes to ball handling and running the offense with confidence, I think that's kind of the thing that Horton might bring. I don't think you're going to see a dramatic shift between the KW team that we saw last time they were here in London, but it will be noticeable that they'll be able to execute just a little bit better on offense.
All right, let's go for a little hometown flair here. Number 1 pick in the NBLC draft this year, Greg Morrow, former Western University basketball player. What are we looking at as far as him as a contributor tonight?
Well, I think with Greg Morrow, he's been an absolutely fabulous rookie season for him. You look at a lot of the rookies who come into the NBLC straight from CIS, and there's usually a bit of a learning curve. There's a bit more of a process in terms of getting them ready to play at this level of competition. Because remember, in terms of coming into this league, you've got guys who can come in as a rookie from Division I college basketball. You know, we're watching March Madness right now, and you have a guy who will jump from that right into the NBLC. It's a little harder to make that jump for CIS guys, but I think Greg Morrow's probably made that jump better than any CIS rookie has in NBLC. He's been a key part of the rotation for the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans, and he may not be the 6th man, but he's definitely a part of that bench unit, and a critical one.
All right, folks, starting lineups are announced here for both teams. Coming out first for the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans, we'll have Ed Horton, Adam Blazik, Adam Wing, Paul Cooper, and Flard Whitfield. And on the court for the London Lightning, we'll have Doug Herring Jr., Garrett Williamson, Royce White, Ryan Anderson, and Marvin Phillips.
And I think this is a bit of a reward for Marvin Phillips based on the way he played in that last game. He was a huge contributor for the London Lightning in that game against the River Lions, had 21 points, but made a lot of excellent defensive plays. So I think that's the reason Coach Julius has him in the lineup for this game, is to provide that similar kind of impact against the KW Titans and hopefully give the Lightning a great start, because usually when they win the first quarter, they win the game. So for the London Lightning, this start's going to be big, and Marvin Phillips can be a big part of it.
So you're expecting defense. Obviously, last Friday, I should say, we saw a little bit of a shootout here. Do you expect maybe a bit of a slower paced game, kind of slow down KW down, or do you expect them to kind of play with some speed, make them beat them?
I think there's going to be speed here. Yeah. Both teams like to play a very upbeat style of offense. They love to get it in transition. And London's shown that they can play in that slow-down game, so maybe if you want to trip the Titans up a bit, you slow it down. But I think for London, they feel like they can do what they do better than KW can do in terms of the transition game. So I really think that's what London's going to try to do. If you're KW, slowing them down is one of those things that's easier said than done. And it'll be a challenge for the Titans here.
All right, just a couple more minutes for my tip-off here, folks. Kitchener-Waterloo, 11 and 13 right now. Still comfortably ahead of Niagara.
I don't know how comfy they want to be.
What do they need to do over these last few games of this season just to keep themselves in the playoffs?
Well, they've had they didn't make any big moves at the deadline, but they had a lot of roster moves before that. And I think one of the important things for the KW Titans is going to be getting those guys integrated in a hurry. Because the reality is they've got Niagara breathing down their necks. Niagara made all their big moves, and Niagara's starting to gel down the stretch, and it's going to be up to KW to do so just as quickly down the stretch if they want to hold on to that playoff spot. They can't really afford to give up much ground to the River Lions.
We get ready for game time here. Arena looking nice and full, March break, lots of kids around. Hopefully a fun environment for them tonight.
We got the one end pretty well full over here.
Yeah.
No upper bowl today.
And here we go with the tip. And KW gains possession. And that's Ed Horton with the ball, former Lightning player as we've mentioned. And Blazik will miss his first shot. Herring Jr. with the rebound.
Very deep three, and there was plenty of time on the shot clock. Not wild about that.
Herring will cross the timeline, swing out to Garrett Williamson. Williamson drives in, and he'll miss the floater. Fans still on their feet waiting for that first bucket. Horton will move down again. He'll swing out there to... Oh. Back to Whitfield. Horton closely guarded there by White. He'll fake it and put it up, and short.
That was tough for White there. Ed Horton, very big speed mismatch. White did all he could.
And White with the easy bucket. Fans will take a seat. White coming off a pretty hot game against Orangeville. 30 points, 75% shooting.
He really is the engine that drives this team. He almost acts as their de facto point guard at times, too.
And that three ball won't go. Herring Jr. with the rebound out to Williamson. Williamson. A wide open shot for Doug Herring Jr. and he'll miss that. Ed Horton with the rebound. Horton. Close in there with Williamson. Help. Doug Herring Jr. with the nice defensive play, poking the ball there out.
Can't leave that man open.
And that's a wide open three for Ryan Anderson. He's not going to miss that shot.
One of the best three-point shooters in the league. He's a guy, anytime you're coming back, it's easy to lose him in transition, but you have to find Ryan Anderson.
Whitfield with the dribble out to Horton. Whitfield looking for the shot, maybe the fake. Royce White right on him. And first basket falls for KW.
Yeah, Flen Whitfield, an NBLC veteran.
And Royce White down the floor. Nice find there. (7-2) in the early goings for the Lightning. Whitfield. And we've got Horton fit the shot. Oh, sorry, that's Whitfield. And we'll get a foul on Royce White here.
It's going to be the blocking foul there on right. Or on White, pardon me.
All right, so Flen Whitfield will take two here.
You know, I kind of like what KW is doing earlier. They're going inside, and they're trying to get some foul trouble for Royce White here. I mean, Flen Whitfield is just taking it to the rim. There's nothing, strategically creative about it. But you got Royce White a foul already. If you keep doing that, Royce White has had foul troubles before. So it's a good way to take out a guy who does a lot for the London Lightning.
Whitfield will go 1 for 2 there. Herring Jr. up the court. He'll find Marvin Phillips. Maybe looking to make his way in here. And he'll find the bucket. Great move there by Phillips.
Great footwork from Phillips, too. And sometimes you see him at the three-point line too much, and you forget that he's a very, very polished post player.
All right. Blazik will swing around to grab the pass there. Whitfield. Horton inside there on Ryan Anderson. Bucket won't go. Kicked around a little. Royce White find himself with the ball. Mismatch there against Blazik.
Blazik, excellent. Excellent defense. He just went straight up and blocked the path there. That's exactly what you got to do when you're giving up that size.
Blazik looking for the quick three ball. He won't take it. Wing swings over to Ed Horton. Horton with the three. And that won't go. Garrett Williamson with the rebound. He'll take it himself back up the court. Passes inside to Royce White. White back out there to Williamson. Thinks about it. And he does. Long two.
I was going to compliment the smart decision. Garrett Williamson, not a great three-point shooter, but when you let him have that step in, mid-range game is his best shot. You can't give him that step.
Blazik once again, top the key with the pass. Out to Wing. In there to Cooper. Cooper's going to try and go in tough on Marvin Phillips. And that's going to go.
Paul Cooper, another NBLC veteran. There's a lot on the KW Titans. Cooper, a guy who had a really good season under Coach Kyle Julius with the Mississauga Power.
Herring Jr. takes it himself, finds a quick two. And we'll have a timeout for Kitchener-Waterloo here. Do we like what we see from the Lightning so far?
So far, so good. I mean, it's 13-5. You can't really go wrong with a score like that. In terms of the game plan for the Lightning, they've been doing a great job of just finding the open man. KW's brought the help whenever Royce White has been down low, and White's done an excellent job of kicking out when that happens. We saw earlier the play to Garrett Williamson, where it was Williams' defender who left Williamson to go help on Royce White. White identified that and set up Williamson for that too. That's the kind of plays that they're going to need. That's the thing with Royce White and why he's been so dangerous as a member of the Lightning. It's not just the points he can get, and sometimes he doesn't even get the assist on what happens, but when he kicks it out to the open guy when a defender has come to help, there's going to be someone open. So whoever comes and helps, whoever got left open, that person can just kick it around the three-point line and find someone for the three. So even when he's not getting the assist, even when he's not getting a point, he's having such a huge impact on the Lightning offense.
And Kitchener-Waterloo, obviously not the most ideal start, only 5 points in the early going there. What are they doing on offense to try and get themselves some open looks?
I think the strategy so far has been go inside. We see them trying to work it around, but Lightning's perimeter defense has been pretty spot on. And that's made it difficult to make some of the shots that guys on the KW Titans really like. Like Adam Blazik is one of the better three-point shooters in the NBLC. And he can actually knock down some pretty deep three-pointers. But other than one opportunity in which he was probably stretching it a bit, hasn't really been a shot for him. So London's almost okay. They've been going inside trying to see if they can get Royce White in some foul trouble. London's kind of been letting them have it. So if you're London, it's almost like a Matador defense that they're just saying, you can attack us on the inside all you want. We got Marvin Phillips, Royce White, and Julian Boyd all in there. So, I mean, it's one of those things you got to pick your poison a bit.
All right, back from our timeout here. That's Ed Horton down the court. Out to Whitfield. He'll find Ed Horton inside quickly. He'll get the layup in over Doug Herring Jr.
Great cut from Horton. The way he stopped and planted was perfect, too. Herring was almost too far gone at that point. He was going too fast.
Royce White looking around for a possible pass. Into Marvin Phillips. Contested there from Blazik. Phillips will find another two. We got Horton down the court here. Whitfield thinking. Blazik. Doug Herring Jr. up tight against him. Royce White. Some great defense there against Whitfield, but he'll find the bucket.
Again, Flynn Whitfield just very aggressive getting to the bucket right now. He seems to be the only guy who's taking kind of some sort of initiative on the offensive end.
Marv Phillips with a three. That will not go, but Ryan Anderson quickly with the rebound and two. And just a little too long on the touchdown pass there. That'll be a turnover by Kitchener-Waterloo. And we'll grab some substitutions here. So joining us on the court now, we've got Kyle Johnson, Joel Friesen, and Julian Boyd. Herring directing some traffic as he moves across the timeline. Royce White is going to hold it.
Lots of chaos down low.
Friesen with a three from the middle, and he'll find it on his first shot. Coming out hot.
Julian Boyd set a great screen just at the bottom, just right under the basket pretty much. That took Ed Horton almost completely out of the play, and Friesen got the open look.
Whitfield's going to take a quick three. He'll miss. Friesen will grab the rebound. Herring. He's one-on-one with Horton. And we'll get a quick foul here on Ed Horton. And Herring Jr. is going to shoot too.
Herring Jr. identifying that the defender had his hands out. Sometimes when you have a defender who's kind of licking his chops trying to get the steal, you see that hand out there, just bring your hand up. If the guy hits it, that's a foul. So smart play by Doug Herring there.
All right, so we've got some substitutions for KW here. George Blakeney is going to find the floor. And I believe we've also got Jason Kalist. Herring makes his first. 2 for 2, already much better shooting than what we saw last Friday here.
Yeah, the free throws were not a pretty sight last game for the London Lightning.
I'm sure Coach made that a point in practice in the past week. All right, so Adam Wing up against Joel Friesen. He'll go hard to the net. And he'll take it in for 2.
Tough shot, too. Great job by Wing.
Herring Jr. picked off there. Whitfield reading the ball very well. Julian Boyd looking a little lost out there defensively. Royce White in tough on Whitfield again.
Yeah, Julian Boyd was forced to defend out on the perimeter there. I believe it was Blakeney was hanging out by the three-point line. That kind of took him out defensively.
Kyle Johnson there with a quick move to the rim. He'll get fouled.
Gonna be a little bit slow to get up. I think he's okay, though. I think, Coach, right now we were talking about Boyd being kind of stuck at the perimeter. Coach giving some guidance to the players, saying to switch when that happens rather than kind of leaving Boyd out there.
Kyle Johnson here for 2. Anthony Criswell standing up out there. Royce White's going to come out of the game.
Or not.
The ref says, wait your turn, young man. And Kyle Johnson 2 for 2.
Now
And
Chris will
now,
come in.
yeah, we'll move that substitution along. All right, Ed Horton here with the ball over the timeline. Swings it out to Blakeney. Finds Whitfield. Julian Boyd in on him. Police with the dribble up against Herring Jr. Whitfield finds his way in, and he'll miss the easy bucket.
They're definitely trying to attack Boyd on the perimeter, though. That's the second time in a row we've seen
Kyle
it.
Johnson will take a quick 3. That'll be a bit too much. Ed Horton goes quick to the rim, finds Jason Caliste out there for the 3.
You know, just like that, 10-point lead. It's getting closer. We saw it happen with Niagara. They just sort of inched
Criswell
back.
with the 3. He'll miss the shot. That's 2 straight missed 3-pointers for the Lightning. And he'll keep that one in. Great move by Ed Horton. Herring Jr. in tough on him. And we'll get a foul here on Julian Boyd. Like we said, Whitfield attacking the rim real hard. Getting the Lightning defenders a little uneasy down there.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by the game from Flynn Whitfield. Even when he's not necessarily putting up points, he's done a lot of really intelligent things on the offensive end. And again, he seems to be the guy on KW who's really taking initiative tonight and is really trying to get his own buckets, you know?
And he'll sink 1. And 2 for 2. And we'll get a quick substitution here. Tyrone Dixon, and Whitfield will take a break. And we'll swing it out here. Doug Herring Jr. working the ball down there. Friesen will swing around. Adam Wing closely on him. Kyle Johnson looks for the shot. Herring Jr.
Oh,
He'll
shook
take a
him.
deep 3, and oh, no good. Ugly shot there, just a little short.
When you make a crossover like that, you got to finish.
And so we've got a London turnover there. Wing will throw it out there to Ed Horton. Horton to Blakeney. Tyrone Dixon with the ball. Pass a little off mark, but Adam Winger covers it. And we'll have a foul here. That's going to be a London foul.
I believe that's going to be on either Joel Friesen or Anthony Criswell.
Looks like Anthony Criswell here. Ref showing 2s.
Yeah, there were a couple of bumps there from. It's going to be on Friesen, pardon me.
Oh.
There were a couple of bumps there between Friesen, Criswell, Blakeney, and Horton. All just kind of run into each other there. We're going to have Marcus Capers check into the game here.
Wearing number 4. Crowd gives him a little applause, welcoming him back to the game and the season.
Making a season debut for the team.
And deep three there by Ed Horton over Capers. Testing him early, and he says no go. Julian Boyd, and we'll have a foul here.
Well, we mentioned when Capers comes in, he's probably going to just be put up against whoever the best offensive player is on KW. You see that immediately. Capers comes in the game, he's put right on Ed Horton, forces a bad shot.
Jason Calise will take the foul there on Julian Boyd. Kyle Johnson, short jumper, and he'll find it. Quick pass, quick shot. Great movement by the Lightning.
Kyle Johnson, one of the best catch and shooters on the London Lightning.
And we're seeing Greg Morrow for the first time in the game, folks.
Went double Canadian, Shamar Sutherland in too.
Sutherland trying to move the ball around. Double team there by the Lightning. He'll go a deep pass, and that'll go out on a Lightning player. KW ball.
There's been a lot of tightrope action along that baseline there. KW forced to make a couple of tough plays out of there. You don't want to have to keep doing that.
Sutherland to throw the ball in here. He'll go into Caliste. Loses his step, and no, not enough time on the shot clock there. And we'll get an inbounds here. Kyle Johnson. They'll throw it into Capers. Quick move around the Criswell screen. Friesen thinking about a shot. Tries to find the pass in there to Criswell.
Dixon just stuck an arm in there.
Dixon with quick hands there. Capers with the throw in. Trying for the quick move to the rim. Johnson. Himself. And shot from the free throw line. The quick turnaround jumper from Kyle Johnson.
Yeah, that was good defense, just a better shot.
Caliste here, closely guarded by Capers. Greg Morrow swing around with the ball. He makes a fake. Sutherland. Tyrone Dixon in the corner there. He'll go a deep pass out to Greg Morrow. He'll take the three, and that'll find its way home.
That's one thing I think Greg Morrow's shown his growth during his time in NBLC. I think he was a little hesitant about taking those three-pointers at the start of his career, but now for KW, he's been very comfortable shooting beyond the arc.
And we'll get a foul there on Tyrone Dixon on Friesen trying to go in. Call me wrong here, really. Greg Morrow, highest scoring player in Western University history.
Yes, he is.
Not afraid to put up points.
Sir Frederick Braid, Banting grad too. Know a couple of those.
Yeah, a couple guys that go there. Friesen will take two. And that'll go in and out. All right, and Cavell Johnson on the floor now. Substitution for the KW Titans. Friesen looking for one or two here, and he'll miss both. Greg Morrow with the rebound. Pleased to work his way up the floor here against Capers. And when you've had to spend time away from the team like Capers, do you expect maybe a little rust coming back and, getting game action so early?
For sure. Nice shot there by Shamar Sutherland. I think for Capers, the rust is going to be from knowing where to be on offense. It's going to be when there's set plays. But he played with Garrett Williamson and Ryan Anderson last year, and it's the same system. Almost. Huge block there.
Phenomenal Boyd there by Tyrone Dixon on Julian Boyd.
But going back to Capers, it's the same system, same coach, and there's familiar teammates. I don't think the rust will be as bad for him.
And we're down to nothing on the shot clock, and no, that will not count. Just a little too late there for the Lightning.
Good interior defense from the Titans. Anytime the Lightning went down low, they were met by a mass of black sweaters, or jerseys, pardon me.
Titans tightening up a little bit here on defense. We're down to a 7-point difference. Lightning still have the lead. And that's a high shot off the boards. That won't go. Criswell with the rebound. Criswell thinks about a three. He throws a three. He'll
That's
miss.
not his game.
Kyle Johnson with the rebound. They'll reset and think about this. Capers. And we'll get an offensive foul on Capers.
Maybe a touch of rust there. I think they're definitely trying to get him on the score sheet early, though.
A little mop up there from the fall. Great effort out there. And we'll get the inbounds pass here from Morrow to Kalist. And looks like the KW Titans will have last shot here, barring a quick one. So Kalist will take his time. And he'll swing out there. Tyrone Dixon, and an amazing block. Capers says, I'm back.
That
I'm
was
back.
just a huge block there for Marcus Capers, and there's that defensive ability that he has. Apparently it was a foul.
Yeah.
No fun.
It looked good. It's got to feel good
Yeah.
to get in there like that. Dixon will take his two anyways. And he'll rim out on the first one.
Ball don't lie. That was
Said Sheed Wallace.
yeah.
And
That was,
Tyrone Dixon.
impressive.
And he'll go.
Impressive
1 for
hops
2.
from Caper too, just to get up there.
Criswell looking for the big pass. A little bit of an odd play there on the inbounds. Not a lot of time left.
I don't know how much of a play it was. I think it was just London, of course, was hitting up on the time limit for when you have to inbound it, so they kind of didn't really have an option, freezing nowhere to go.
So Kitchener-Waterloo looking for a bucket to end the quarter, and they won't get it. Lightning lead after the first quarter, 28-22 over the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans.
Thank you for watching Knockstrip TV. We'll be right back to give you the second quarter.
All right, folks, welcome back to second quarter action. Once again, score is Lightning 28, KW Titans 22. First half thoughts, Chris?
In that first quarter,
Sorry,
I thought
first quarter.
hey, it's okay. The KW Titans did a really great job of battling back, and we saw what happens when you take Royce White out of the game, when you pull Julian Boyd out of the paint. They really opened up things inside, and that's where the KW Titans did a good job making that comeback.
All right, so inbound pass here, Doug Herring Jr. Music's still playing. Someone might want to get on that there.
No, it's a hit. Keep it going.
Garrett Williamson with the dribble. Royce White.
I saw him shooting threes in warm-up. He's thinking about that.
And he tries to find the pass. That'll go, sorry, kick ball there. Kick ball out on Kitchener-Waterloo. All right, Doug Herring Jr. to inbound. And we'll get a toss out there to Ryan Anderson. Marvin Phillips with a three.
Deep three,
Just
too.
won't go. So we'll get Sutherland up the court. Back to Caliste. Ryan Anderson closely on him, keeping him near the timeline. Out to Greg Morrow. Little switch there. Offense looking patient out of the start there for Kitchener-Waterloo, and they'll get a quick two.
Cavell Johnson, a very experienced NBLC player. He's formerly a Defensive Player of the Year as a member with the Brampton A's.
Doug Herring Jr. moves in, and we'll get a foul here on Kitchener-Waterloo. Williamson will go to the line here.
Man, Tyrone Dixon is a tough guy. He's doing a great job in the paint right now for the KW Titans. He's just really not giving anyone any give. I think that's been a good thing in terms of defending guys like Boyd, Phillips, White. He's been their best post defender, I think, in this game. And I think it's something they identified on their roster. They didn't really have... They had tall guys, but they didn't have a lot of like muscular guys in the paint. He's someone who can hold up when you're posting him up, so I think that was a good pickup by the Titans.
Garrett Williamson, first bucket is good. And let's go 2 for 2. And let's get a substitution here. So Adam Wing will join us back on the court. Greg Moore will take his break. And Caliste back up the court. Lots of movement here for the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans. Sutherland with the ball. Johnson will look to play the screen for him. Sutherland takes it inside himself, off the glass and just out.
Look out.
Sutherland sneaking up behind Royce White. He's still moving. White looks to go in. They'll say travel on White. Too many steps there.
It was a good read by White to go with it, though. He had the path, and we've seen him do that enough times to feel confident he could have pulled off that play.
So Caliste will move everyone around here. Dixon with the screen. Vale Johnson. Marv Phillips. Look to play the pass there. Gets back in front of Dixon's face. He'll miss the shot. Ryan Anderson at Doug Herring Jr. Garrett Williamson in the corner. Quick pass in there to White, and he'll take the foul from Sutherland.
Yeah, Sutherland a bit mismatched when Royce White gets the ball there. There's been a lot of mismatch opportunities in this game, and both teams have done a good job of identifying them, but I think Kitchener's kind of forced the mismatches just a little bit more so far in this game.
It looks like London's trying to move the ball into the interior on offense. Kitchener-Waterloo doing a great job shutting them down right now. Do you think they need Dixon on the floor to keep that up?
I think having Dixon in the game definitely helps things along in that regard. I know he's not going to be out there right now, but I think if you're KW, you adjust your game plan for your lineup, and right now you don't really need to worry about it. That's going to be out of bounds there on Adam Wing.
Great defense there by Garrett Williamson to force him into pressuring the step.
Yeah. And I often talk about the lines here at Budweiser Gardens. You look at other arenas around, basketball really, and usually there's a border around that out of bounds line. I think sometimes there's a couple more calls here in London than you see elsewhere, just because that line's a much thinner line. It doesn't have that border around it.
Doug Herring Jr. tries to go in quick there. He'll miss the two. Kitchener-Waterloo down the floor. Quick shot is missed. Anderson's going to take the three ball, and he'll find it.
Very optimistic shot, but he's able to drill it. Great play.
Back to a 10-point lead for the Lightning. 9:30 left in the second quarter. And Whitfield, he'll take the jumper, and it won't go. Garrett Williamson's going to grab the rebound. Royce White matched up against there with Whitfield. He'll try and take it in on the interior, playing some tough defense there. And he'll bank it in off the glass.
Whitfield did about everything he could there. He almost picked White's pocket even, but unfortunately for him, White just able to bully his way to the basket.
All right, Marvin Phillips going to come off the floor here. Julian Boyd checking back into the game.
We'll see if they stick with that strategy of trying to make Boyd uncomfortable on the perimeter defensively.
Blazik up the court here. Out to Whitfield. And ball bounced away, but Blazik manages to recover it. And Paul Cooper here. With the quick... Oh. And it'll be London ball there.
I think they're going to call a foul down low there. Yep, Flynn Whitfield's going to pick that one up. Just when Ryan Anderson was cutting to the basket there was a bit of contact.
So Lightning from the sideline. Doug Herring Jr. trying to move some bodies around there, open up some shots. Royce White with the screen. Anderson's going to take a three. And no good. Just a little too much. Blazik's going to take a quick three of his own. And that's going to be no good. Couple quick threes back to back, no good. Doug Herring Jr. almost loses the ball there. Royce White swinging it out to Garrett Williamson. And that's going to be a pickoff there by Paul Cooper, but it'll go out of bounds. Lightning will have the ball, 7 to shoot.
Great defense by Cooper there. You know, KW did a lot of good little things on that play to kind of blow it up, but unfortunately not able to hold on to the ball.
So we'll look for a quick inbound. Doug Herring Jr. 5 seconds to shoot. Garrett Williamson's going to go tough inside. No good. Rebound there by the Titans. Sutherland. He'll move quickly back up the court. Cooper looking helps out the screen. We'll get another offensive foul. Moving screen there?
I think so. Pardon me, that was on Adam Blazik.
And so a couple missed shots and some turnovers here by the Titans. Lightning have a 12-point lead. Doug Herring Jr. taking his time up the court. Garrett Williamson. He'll move around. And turnover by the Lightning there. Getting in tough on Garrett Williamson. No direction to the rim. Couldn't find the pass.
I don't think anyone really saw it coming with these two teams, but it's been a bit of a defensive second quarter.
Sutherland and Blazik will move the ball around. Herring Jr. watching him. Adam Wing with the open three, and not a very pretty shot there, just short. Adam Wing again, and he'll go in tough to the rim, and Royce White, he'll take the foul.
It's going to be another one there on Royce White. Done a good job of staying out of trouble. It's only his second of the game.
Adam Wing to take 2 here. One for one. Joe Friesen looks like he's getting ready to step on the court there. And that basket won't go, so he'll stay off a little bit longer. Herring Jr. out to Royce White. Royce looks like he's going to move this himself and can't get it to go off the glass. Sutherland moving quick. He'll go out to Wing there, on the wing. Flynn Whitfield with the dribble. Moving in on Ryan Anderson. Tough moves. Great hands there by Ryan Anderson to take it away.
That's all you can do when you're faced with a mismatch like that.
Royce. And, oh.
Not sure what the whistles are for there.
Joel Friesen's going to pop back in here. Blazik will move it down the court. Ed Horton checks back in for the Titans as well. And Julian Boyd will pick up another foul. They have identified Boyd this game. They are going after him.
It's kind of interesting that they've done that because I can't recall a team that we've seen try that against Boyd.
And that'll go out. Kitchener-Waterloo give it a try again. Ed Horton out to Blazix, over to Wing. Wing with the dribble. And the pass will not find anybody. Out of bounds, Lightning ball.
Yeah, I think he just lost it on that play.
Only 3 points in the quarter so far for the Titans. Not what you're looking for offensively if you're trying to hang around in a game with the Lightning.
Yeah, especially when you allow the Lightning for 10 points in that same quarter. Again, London, one of the most consistent and top offensive teams in this league. You kind of have no choice but to try and keep up.
Pass. Capers collects it, and he cannot find the bucket. Great move, though. Wing down quickly. Whitfield will take the shot. That three won't go. Anderson collects the rebound. Out to Herring. Ed Horton playing tough there against Herring Jr. He'll whip it out. Capers, three ball won't go. Offense looking a little rusty. And we'll get an offensive foul.
There he is, Marcus Capers drawing the charge there. And again, he's kind of like Joel Friesen, that he's not necessarily a guy you're going to see on the stat sheet, but you're going to see him when you watch the game. He's a guy who really stands out for some of his non-stat sheet contributions.
All right, so we've got a team timeout here. Take a couple seconds.
Give you a little stats update on the game so far. Leading scorer for the London Lightning is Royce White with 9 points. He's also followed by Ryan Anderson with 8, Kyle Johnson with 6. Looking at the KW Titans, Glenn Whitfield leading the team in points and rebounds. That's 7 points, 5 rebounds. No one else on the KW Titans over 3 points. So a bit of a rough game for them on the offensive end if your name's not Glenn Whitfield. Some shooting numbers, they're not tremendously pretty for either side. London, 46%, not a bad night. KW, 33% field goal shooting, and that's kind of been indicative in the score, too.
Missed shots and turnovers killing Kitchener right now. Only 25 points, just a little over halfway through the second quarter.
You know, they're lucky to kind of be within the range that they are if you're shooting 9 of 27 from field goal range. They've already taken 11 three-pointers, made 2. London, 12 three-pointers, have made 3. So neither team, lighting it up from behind the arc. London really winning on the boards, 21-14. And also assist number, London Lightning 9, KW Titans 6. I think that rebound thing is a big one. Just because we talked about bringing those guys out of the paint. If London's leading in the rebounds, it means those guys have been able to just stay in the paint. They haven't been getting pulled out nearly enough for there to be any sort of discernible advantage to it.
All right, so we'll bring the boys back on the court here. And we'll get the second half of the second quarter going.
While I'm talking about points in the paint, though, London 16 to only 8 from the KW Titans. So we mentioned KW might be better going inside here, trying to force some trouble, and they just haven't been able to do it.
And despite those 16 points in the paint, we have seen some really excellent defense from Kitchener-Waterloo on the inside.
Well, I think if you hold London to 38 points at this point, that's a pretty good defensive game based on London scoring. But you got to score too, and that's been the issue.
All right, so Herring Jr. and Kyle Johnson playing a little catch there. Capers will go inside, and he'll make his first bucket.
Good for Marcus Capers in his return to the London Lightning.
So we'll have Ed Horton moving the ball down here, trying to shake Joel Friesen. Kyle Johnson close there on Adam Blazek. They'll switch over. They'll try and get Wing an open look. He won't take it. Calise swings over to Horton for a 3, and he'll find it in the corner. Good movement there by the Titans. Get themselves an open look. Herring Jr. out to Joel Friesen. And they'll go inside to Julian Boyd. Friesen with a 3, and that'll find itself.
Joel Friesen, just kind of that perfect 3 and D guy. He's able to defend and make the three-pointer, and if you can do those two things, you're going to make quite a bit of money in basketball.
So Friesen, uptight against Ed Horton. Once again, looking to move that ball around, produce himself an open shot, and Blazik easy there into the rim. Great screen set up by Paul Cooper. Herring's going to swing Friesen around to the other corner. Kyle Johnson with an open 3 look, and that won't go. Ed Horton with the rebound. Horton tries to take it into the rim, and Friesen just couldn't get it back in time. It's going to be Kitchener-Waterloo ball. Great play, though, defensively.
Yeah, almost turned that into, a 4-point swing there, but unfortunately for Friesen, just a little tippy toe on the line.
Into Paul Cooper, out to Adam Blazik. Ed Horton. Ed Horton quiet so far. Expected, or did you think he might come out with a little fire against the former Lightning team?
I'm not terribly surprised that he's been a bit quiet because he played for Kyle Julius. He's played for the London Lightning. So I think there was almost they know what he is. They know how he plays, and they know how to defend him. So I think for Horton, it's been a bit of a tough go. But it also doesn't help when no one really on the Titans has been able to get any sort of sustainable offense.
So Kyle Johnson looks to create his own shot there. Can't do it. Moving quickly up the floor here. Horton looking for the 3. He'll pass out to Khalees. Deep 3, he won't take it, and we'll get an offensive foul here. Paul Cooper.
So we're really in any sort of foul trouble, unless you're looking at Flenn Whitfield, guy who's had a pretty good impact when he's been in the game, but at 3 fouls, hasn't really been able to stay in the game.
George Blakeney is going to check in here. Anthony Criswell in the game for the Lightning. He's going to hold it. He'll swing out to Doug Herring Jr. He's going to take it into the rim here. Not a very good look there for Herring Jr. In tough there against Blakeney. Blazik looking to get inside. He'll take it to he'll pass out to Khalees. And 3 ball for KW.
Khalees, a very good 3-point shooter. He's starting to dial it in a bit from 3-point range.
And we've got a 10-point game here. Lightning still lead 43-33. Anthony Criswell out to Joel Friesen. Herring Jr. inside to Julian Boyd. And the floater won't go. He'll grab the rebound. Swing it out to Johnson. Out to Herring. They'll reset things a little here. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Criswell with the screen. Herring's going to swing out to Julian Boyd for the 3 ball. And that is no good. And very close to recovering there, Anthony Criswell. Just couldn't keep those feet inside the line.
I like that shot from Julian Boyd. People kind of forget that he can make that 3-point shot, and he doesn't take it too often, but he's really good about choosing when to do it.
And ball inbounded. Khalees up the court to Blakeney. Out to Adam Wing. Wing swings it out to Blazik. Blazik. And tough against the line there. And that'll go out off of Blazik. Lightning ball. Some great defense out there again on the perimeter. Just keeping them tight.
I think they're just doing a very good job of making sure there's nothing easy for the Titans. KW started to get things going a bit in the back half of this quarter here, but again, when you're playing the London Lightning, it's one thing to stop them, but you got to score yourself, and they've been doing a good job of stopping them, holding them to only 15 points so far.
So Marvin Phillips from the interior out and finds himself a good 3-point shot. Minute left in the quarter here. Ed Horton directing bodies. He'll swing out to Wing. Khalees looks for the 3. Kyle Johnson just leans in a little bit too much there. And Kalisto inbounds here. So Kalisto inbounds from the end line here. Blakeney tries to set the screen up for Ed Horton. He'll swing out to Wing instead. Wing trying to move inside, and that'll fall for 2 and 1. Nice little shake there by Wing. Get himself open. Give himself a layup in the harm. So we'll get Wing with the shot here. Wing takes one. We've got a 46-36 game here with 41 seconds remaining on the clock. Ryan Anderson with the dribble. Marv Phillips set up the screen. He'll swing out to Joel Friesen. Joel Friesen thinks about the shot. He'll move into the interior. He'll swing back to Kyle Johnson. He'll take the long two. That will not go. Blakeney with the rebound. 25 seconds on the clock. Kalist taking his time. Looking to slow things down. Not leave a lot of time for London. So Kalist, still no pass. Hold on to the ball. Blakeney on the interior, and they will waste the shot clock. No good there from Kitchener-Waterloo. So despite a play here from the Lightning will take a timeout with less than a second on the clock here. Oh, looks like they're going to possibly put a second and a bit back on. So it looks like they're going to throw 1.8 seconds there on the clock. That's what the Lightning will have left to work with when we return from the timeout. We'll see what they can do. Fans really getting into the game now. A little bit of a slogfest so far. Not the usual scoring clip they're used to from this Lightning team. But a 10-point lead at home, most fans will take that. Pretty clean game so far as fouls go. Only 6 for Kitchener-Waterloo. Only 4 on the Lightning's player. 2 each for Julian Boyd and Royce White. Glenn Whitfield obviously not seeing the court a whole bunch because of his 3 for Kitchener-Waterloo. So the Lightning will hustle out here for one last shot. 1.8 seconds. Yes, we have confirmed it. That's what they're throwing back on the clock. Let's see what the Lightning have drawn themselves up here. Criswell. Can he get a shot off? Buzzer, and a final 3 by Marv Phillips at the buzzer. Well drawn up play by the Lightning. So the score at the end of the first half, the hometown London Lightning 49, visiting Kitchener-Waterloo Titans 36. We'll now go down to halftime with Chris and Aaron.
Stars at 3 went because now the Lightning lead by 13, 49-36. We're courtside for the Knoxham halftime. And Chris Croucher, a lot of people say what they want to say about the Titans, but good looks, but at the same time, they're not being able to get in the goal.
Well, I think they've had a couple of good looks from beyond the arc, and I think they've looked pretty good on the inside too. Unfortunately, on those looks from beyond the arc, they aren't able to cash in. And when that happens, you end up not having those interior shots either, because if London doesn't have to respect your three-point shot, they don't really have to feel scared if they bring a help defender down into the post once in a while. So for KW, if they start making those looks, this could be a different game. But right now, they're not making those shots.
They're shooting 4 of 15 from the three-point line. And we mentioned this before at halftime. If there's one thing that Titans need the most, is Flenar Whitfield's leadership. I mean, he's leading with 7 points and 5 rebounds, but it shows how much leadership he adds to this.
Well, I think he's been phenomenal so far for KW, and he seems like one of the only guys on the Titans who's been able to really, take the ball and go with it and really make something for himself. And I think him being in foul trouble is what really led to some problems for him, because they had to take him out of the game. And when he was out of the game, there was almost a drop in the intensity level, just because Flynn Whitfield was providing that drive and kind of the motivation for them by the way he was driving to the bucket, getting points. He was getting Royce White some fouls. If he stays in the game, it might be a different looking half. And as of now, 49-36, it could have been worse. So I think for the Titans coming into the second half, there's definitely some positives that you can build on.
Exactly. Marvin Phillips leads with 10 points for the London Lightning. That's on the other side. And there's been a few games where Marvin Phillips' shot has been off, but it's been on so far. And the justice right there is that 3 at the buzzer.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes it's just your night, and that's kind of what it's been for the London Lightning. That shot right at the buzzer is definitely going to give them some buzz as they head into the locker room. And I think for London, they've just been able to execute their game plan well, and there's no real secret, there's no real mystery to it. They've just been able to come out here and do what they came out here to do.
And they've been doing it. They're trying to make it 3 games in a row, like we said. 46% from the field. On top of that, 6 of 17, 35% from the three-point line. The rebounding game pretty close, 24-18. But of course, a lot of big boys in the front court for both of these clubs. You got to expect a close rebounding game.
Well, it's been interesting watching that front court battle too. These are 2 of the few teams in the NBL that can really have a rotation of bigs. So they not only have a bunch of big guys, but they've got the depth to swing them in and out. And that's where we've seen kind of that battle take place.
We go out of town. The Riptide are playing the Halifax Hurricanes. It's a close game, 83-80. Gabe Freeman once again leading the Riptide with 25 points, but he's been there for a while, so you got to expect a lot from him.
Yeah, I mean, Gabe Freeman is just a magnificent player. I don't think we have that many more nice things to say about him that we haven't already said during his multi-year career in NBLC. He's a former MVP, and for a St. John team that really needs someone to step up, he's been stepping up.
Exactly. They won 3 in a row at home. They're away at Scotiabank Center, which is one of the hardest places to win, especially in the Atlantic Division. We go over to the Eastlink Center, the Island Storm playing the Moncton Miracles, 95-84 with under 8 minutes to go. Jahai Carson, 22 points, 7 rebounds, and he has amazed me so far. I thought it was the Terry Thomas show for most of those games, but Carson's just doing it big.
Yeah, well, Carson had the pedigree to do it big. He's, of course, one of the top recruits when he went to Arizona State, and he's always been a very talented player, and it's nice to see him put it together with the Island Storm.
And there's the story at the Atlantic Division. Now, last night was the end of the trade deadline. Let's go over through a couple of trades. What were some of the trades that amazed you the most around the league?
Well, I think the Daquan Cook trade was a very interesting one because it gave Orangeville a guy who can play that front court role. And I mean, Justin Moss is great. Stefan Nastich is great, but when those guys came off the floor, there was a bit of a drop-off in their front court play. I think with Daquan Cook, it gives them depth, and it gives them another option that they don't have to worry about running Justin Moss into the ground. They're in a good spot in the standings right now. They can kind of rest Moss just a bit down the stretch for playoffs.
And the Riptide has a lot of help in the backcourt now. They signed Alex Campbell, who formerly played for the Windsor Express. I don't know, ask me. It's going to be a lot of minutes for him when he goes on that Riptide lineup.
And earlier in the game, Brett and I were talking about CIS guys who come to NBLC. Alex Campbell, a pretty good player. He didn't really get that opportunity with Windsor, but now he's going to be able to go and really show his stuff with the St. John Riptide, a team that really could use some guys to step up.
And that's the story for you folks. Back here to the Budweiser Gardens. Second half keys. If you're the KW Titans, what do you do? Do you look for good shots? Do you look for smooth passes? What do you do to keep this lead from getting out of hand?
Well, I think if you're going to have Flynn Whitfield back in the game, foul trouble isn't as much of a problem in the second half if you stay disciplined. I think if you have Flynn Whitfield in there and you have him just keep going to the interior, I think that was where they found the most success. I know they didn't really have another guy who was able to find that same success, but if I'm the KW Titans, I keep trying that. You've been getting your looks on the three-point line. I don't think you need to change much. You just have to hope you make them.
London Lightning, their shots have been going off like gangbusters. What do you do to maintain fresh legs and make sure they keep on getting good shots here?
Well, you just got to make sure you move the ball around, have everyone help each other out. If you make it a one-person game, that's when it's a problem. But if you want to make sure everyone's fresh, keep the rotations coming, keep people coming into the game, and I think they'll be fine.
Would you keep Marvin Phillips in the loop and string of things?
Pardon me?
Would you keep Marvin Phillips in the string of things? 10 points for him so far.
Oh, for sure. Well, he got the start tonight, and I think that was a bit of a reward for the way he played against Niagara. And, I mean, what more can we say about Marvin Phillips, a former finals MVP? He's been an all-star multiple times. The guy knows how to play basketball. I don't think you need to worry when he's in the game. He'll find a way to get his buckets.
And a different lineup, like Chris Croucher said at the beginning of the game, but it's been doing it justice right now. You can see it's a 13-point game, 49-36. We'll pause here, have a break. We'll be back for the second half, and I'll see you folks at the Noctrum post game. We'll return right after this announcement.
welcome back from the break. Second half here in London. 49-36. The London Lightning opening up a 13-point lead in the first half. Pretty sloppy second quarter. Not the most efficient first half for either team. What do you look for both teams to improve on here?
Shooting. But if we're being serious here, the London Lightning did a really good job defensively, and so did the KW Titans. I don't know how much of it was actually necessarily sloppy play. I think it was just two teams that really kind of buckled down and forced each other into some really tough shots.
All right, so we get the inbounds pass here. Kitchener-Waterloo starting out with the ball. Ed Horton moves out to Blazik. Blazik looking for the screen. He'll go the other way around Cooper, and he'll get the quick ball off the glass there. Nice little fake off the screen. Williamson looking like he expected one thing, Blazik did the other.
He caught the defense just kind of figuring they knew where the play was going.
Oh, Anderson here on the dribble. He'll shoot out to Herring. And that'll be
blocking foul
on Kitchener-Waterloo. So Herring Jr. is going to take two.
Herring Jr. been very aggressive tonight. He hasn't played a huge amount of minutes.
Definitely looks like they have a plan for him, moving into the interior, trying to get those passes back on to the outside, sucking the defenders in, giving some open looks out there.
You know, I think they like the foot speed matchup with Ed Horton. Ed Horton's he's not slow by any means, but I think Herring's just got that little extra half step on him, and I'd give him the ball and see what he can do.
So Herring Jr. makes one, makes two. So Horton with the ball. Making his way down the court. Cooper setting up the screen. Whitfield, wide open three look, and he'll drain that.
A lot of people forget Flynn Whitfield can make that shot, and that time he shows it. He's a guy who plays so much on the inside, though, that you kind of forget about it.
So Royce White. Haven't said his name too much today. Kitchener-Waterloo doing a good job keeping him quiet. White can't corral the pass there. He'll get double teamed. Marvin Phillips, I think he's hot.
And anytime that help defender comes on White, White's been kind of quiet because they've constantly brought the help. But that means someone's going to be open, and White's done a good job of identifying that open man.
So Horton trying to swing around the defense here. Blazik going up there with Anderson. And good defensive play. Blazik will lose his footing. No call. Royce White.
Ooh.
Oh. Stands up there. Blazik will take the ball. Wing. He'll move in. Blazik will recover the lost ball there. Cooper, who was slow getting down the court there.
Cooper looks just a little wobbly.
And Horton with the bucket will not go. White with the rebound out to Herring Jr. Herring Jr. looks like he was looking for White, not quite on the same page there.
Oh.
And Kitchener-Waterloo not on the same page either. Do you like the pass back there? Do you think he should maybe go to the net?
I actually didn't mind it because you got Flynn Whitfield, who's right there, full speed. It's going to be hard to stop him getting to the rim, so I actually like the pass. But, I mean, if you're Flynn Whitfield, you got to kind of be aware that it's going to be coming.
So that'll actually go out of bounds on the Lightning. Horton with the deep pass out there to Blazik. Herring Jr. Cooper fakes the pass out, and he'll go over Marvin Phillips for two.
Paul Cooper, a very smooth big for the KW Titans.
Herring Jr. Out to Garrett Williamson, and he's going to go, and a big block there by Flynn Whitfield, and he's going to make this easy.
Easily the best player for the KW Titans tonight. Flynn Whitfield's having himself a game.
Just has to keep himself out of foul trouble.
Exactly.
So Royce White, wide open there. Surprised he's not taking the three ball look. Anderson, and we'll have out of bounds poked away there by the Titans. So Marv Phillips is going to come off for Julian Boyd.
You know, Boyd and Phillips, very similar players in terms of the way they play. It almost makes them interchangeable for the Lightning, which is a real luxury to have.
So the pass in there to Anderson. Herring Jr., he'll sit in the corner, think about the three, and he likes what he's thinking about it.
Well, Doug Herring Jr., a lot of people forget when he's been more of a passer with London, but he was one of the best scorers in the league when he was a member of the St. John Millrats. That's going to be an out of bounds there. Adam Wing just putting the toe on the line there.
Unforced.
No,
Unforced.
It was a bit of a... That's something you don't want to see as a coach, because they actually had momentum and numbers going the other way, and it didn't work out.
So Herring Jr. dribbling, Flenn Whitfield guarding him. He'll take it to the interior. Whitfield lets him take the shot. Doesn't go. Whitfield in tough inside against Boyd. And Boyd will take the foul.
Yeah, we were talking about Whitfield on the defensive end there, and you see what happens when you get into some foul trouble, because Doug Herring, even though he didn't get the bucket, he had to just go straight at Whitfield, and Whitfield, because of his foul situation, couldn't really do much. I thought Whitfield did an excellent job, considering his foul situation, of making sure he was in the way without having any sort of illegal contact there. So, nice play by Flenn Whitfield on both ends now.
So Whitfield sinks one.
And Flenn Whitfield, an NBL veteran, I've called many games in which Flenn Whitfield's played. I think this might be one of the better ones I've seen of him in the NBLC. I just hope he can keep those fouls under wraps so he can stay in the game.
So Whitfield will go 2 for 2 from the line, having a big impact so far in the game. Herring Jr. across the timeline. And that's some tight defense there from Kitchener-Waterloo. He'll find the pass into Williamson, who will float it up. It won't go. Cooper with the rebound. Adam Wing up the court. Swinging out there to Whitfield. Horton over to Blazik. He'll take the three ball. That won't go. Julian Boyd finds the rebound. Pace picking up a little bit here. Williamson goes to the interior. And we'll get a foul there, not on the shot. So an inbounds here from the Lightning.
It's going to be Adam Wing on the foul there.
Herring Jr. goes deep down there to Boyd. Out to Anderson. He'll take the three ball. That's good.
We said it in the first quarter, you cannot lose Ryan Anderson. If he gets open, he's going to drill that three.
And so once again, it's a 13-point game for the Lightning, 60-47. Royce White, and no call on the foul. He'll drop to his bum, and Paul Cooper, he'll take two there.
Cooper hit him on the shoulder. I thought that was a good no call by the refs there.
Herring Jr. finding space. Julian Boyd with a three ball. That'll go in and out, no good. And did that Lightning hand on that? Yes, they'll say Herring Jr. did get a hand on it. Herring Jr. saying, not me. So we'll have a corner throw-in. Friesen's going to come on here for the Lightning, and we're going to bring Kalist on. Adam Blazik will step off for the Titans. Garrett Williamson step off for the Lightning.
This is a real pesky lineup in here for the Lightning. Anderson, Herring Jr., and Friesen, all very annoying guys to have defending you.
So we'll go deep out here to Blakeney. And Whitfield finds himself a basket.
Beautiful post move from Flenn Whitfield. He's doing it in every which way for the KW Titans. Just keep feeding him the ball.
So Herring Jr., Royce White, bounces off the screen. Julian Boyd taking another three ball. That one will find its way in. Big guy's not afraid to take the three ball here. So Flenn Whitfield, he'll back Boyd up again. He'll swing the ball out to Adam Wing, and the three will not go. Herring Jr. out to Anderson. Julian Boyd with a move on Ed Horton. Doesn't take the shot. Joel Friesen. The three is good.
When the ball's moving that fast, though, the ball came to Royce White, who's not a very good three-point shooter, but the Titan had to react anyway.
So a deep three ball there by Ed Horton. That one's not going to go. Doug Herring Jr. quickly down, trying to back Kalist up. And we'll get a foul here on Jason Kalist.
And that's an immediate timeout. With the score, you're Lightning 66.
So we'll get a timeout at the halfway mark here. The Lightning have opened up a slightly larger lead, 66-51. A little bit better offensive play so far in the second half.
Yeah, the pace has definitely picked up. I think for KW, the offense is almost exclusively Flynn Whitfield. But we saw some of the problems that they had in that second quarter show up a bit here in this third. For example, Flynn Whitfield had the kick out to Adam Wing, and Wing wasn't able to make the three. The problems that presents is Flynn Whitfield's going to be doing his stuff on the inside. He's doing a great job. But if you don't get him that spacing, if you don't make London worry about that three-point shot, he's going to run out of space. London's just going to be able to bring that help defender and not feel any sort of risk to it. So you have to be able to make those open looks from three-point land, and KW just hasn't really been able to do it so far in this game. Aside from Jason Kalist, he's actually having a good night beyond the arc.
Matching shirts, there we go. Kisses. That's 5 for 5 folks on the Kiss Cam. You can see it every home game.
And Flynn Whitfield, obviously the Lightning maybe trying to isolate him a bit on their offense, maybe get him to pick up 1 or 2 more fouls, get him off the floor. One more puts him at 4. You're down 15 right now. Do you take him out, save him for the 4th?
I think right now, if you're down 15, this is your fourth quarter. I mean, you can't really think about how you're going to win the game until you're within reach of winning the game. So I think you keep him in there, see if you can draw that lead back. It looks like he will not be kept in there, so different thoughts, I guess. But I would personally have kept him. Just try and crawl this lead back inch by inch.
I had mentioned at the end of the first half, not a big half for fouls. Refs keeping the whistles away.
Yeah.
So far, 3 and 2, 6 minutes into the third quarter.
I should say, sorry to interrupt, but continue on the Flynn Whitfield switch. He did bring Tyrone Dixon in, and I think that's because he recognized that London was getting a bit too much on the interior. If there was a way they could get Dixon and Whitfield playing at the same time, that would probably be best. But I think it was an all-right move to bring Dixon in instead of Whitfield, just to provide some of that interior toughness, make it a little more difficult.
Well said. As I was saying about the fouls there, 3-2 so far. Do you think the pickup in the pace of play offensively has led to a bit more, maybe not aggression, but easier fouls for either team to come by?
Well, I think there's been so much interior play, the refs are just keeping their eye on it now. And remember, these refs have coaches in their ears saying, hey, make sure you watch this. And I think because a lot of that play on the inside has been happening, you know, some of the gamesmanship from the coaches might be starting to work their way in.
Ryan Anderson there with a tough 3 over Ed Horton. It won't go. Jason Kalist will move down the court here. He'll direct some traffic. And Marvin Singleton in the game for the Lightning right now, a man we don't see a lot of.
You know, he's been a pretty good player when he's played for them.
And Royce White will take the foul there. Blakeney in a tight battle there with Royce White.
And that's going to be Royce White's 3rd foul.
And that's the kind of thing the Titans want to see, Royce White in foul trouble.
Anytime you can force an opposing team's one of their stronger players and you can force him to the bench, that's a win right there.
So George Blakeney, he'll sink his first shot. And 2 for 2. Royce White inbounds there. Doug Herring Jr. The Herring Jr., he's going to go aggressively on the inside. Can't get that to fall. Royce White with the inbound. Friesen, 3-ball good.
And you know, Joel Friesen hasn't been taking a ton of threes, but he's really been knocking down his open looks.
Now we saw about 3 men on the interior there when Royce White was on the inside. Friesen just with an easy open look. You're not going to miss many of those, at least you'd hope.
The problem for KW, though, is you have to keep doing it. You have to keep bringing that help defender against Royce.
Herring Jr. very carefully. Ooh. Singleton goes in hard there on Tyrone Dixon. And we are going to have... That's a defensive foul there. Tyrone Dixon will pick it up. Marv Singleton's going to take 2.
You know, Singleton, one of those guys, when you're coming into training camp, you've got about 8 or 9 guys that you kind of know are going to make the team. If you're a coaching staff, they're the guys you really kept an eye on and really wanted to get on your team. The rest of the guys in the training camp, you're looking for someone who's going to really win a roster spot, someone who's going to come in there and really take a spot for themselves. Marvin Singleton's the guy for the London Lightning. He really came into camp, had a really nice camp, put in a lot of hard work, and he's one of those guys that looked at an open roster spot and pretty much penned his own name into it. He doesn't play a ton of minutes, but he's a very, very versatile player. Does a lot of things well. So for the London Lightning, he'd probably be getting bigger minutes on a lot of teams. London's so deep, though, that they haven't need to call his name a lot, but when they do, he's always stepped up.
So Tyrone Dixon with the 3 ball there. We did have a substitution, Kyle Johnson in now for Ryan Anderson. So Royce White, he'll go tough in there. Ed Horton's going to try and give some help. And the hoop and the harm, Royce White.
And that's just too tough. There's nothing you can really do there. They pretty much held his arms down and he still made the basket.
So Royce White, and 1. 17-point lead here, 4 minutes, 15 seconds left in the quarter. Adam Wing tries to move inside. He'll lose the control of the ball. Royce White making his way up the court, looks to hold it himself. Marv Singleton there. He'll get the rebound. He'll finish the basket.
And again, a very tough bucket there from Marvin Singleton. Great job just going up with it.
So Ed Horton, he'll swing it out to Tyrone Dixon. Back to Horton. Kyle Johnson playing some tough D on him, and that's going to be Marv Singleton picking up the foul there on George Blakeney.
Yeah, Blakeney and Singleton getting a little...
really going at it there.
Yeah, I don't think KW wants to be doing that right now.
I mean, you've got a 19-point lead right here, right now for the Lightning. Would you fear things getting a little chippy?
Well, no one likes to lose, so I mean, anytime you see a lead like that, maybe someone just hits you a little harder than you think you ought to be hit. You know, tensions can rise a bit, but they're also professionals. We haven't really seen any blow-ups out of the Lightning, so I don't think we're going to see too much rough stuff after this.
So Tyrone Dixon, he'll get the floater to go there over Marv Singleton. Doug Herring Jr. getting his friends in position. Friesen with the ball. Tyrone Dixon guarding him closely. Royce White looking to take Blakeney inside. And he'll get the foul. And the prayer won't go.
Very mature shot there from Royce White, getting Blakeney to leave his feet and then take advantage. So even if the shot's off, you get to go to the free throw line. Free throws have been, I'm probably jinxing it and I apologize, but the free throws haven't been as much of a problem for London in this game. 73% from the line.
So Horton and Wing will go off. We'll get Greg Morrow and Tamar Sutherland here. Royce White for 2. You jinxed it.
Yep.
So Royce will try and go 50% here. And no go. I think we'll put that one on you, Chris.
Sorry, guys. I'll carry that burden.
So Kalist out to Tamar Sutherland. Trying to go inside. Singleton close on him. Kalist with the 3 ball. No good. Herring Jr. to snag the rebound. Royce playing tough down low there with Tyrone Dixon. Royce White getting up off his knees behind the play. Kalist thinking about the shot. Tyrone Dixon wide open there. And not a very pretty shot. Maybe the threat of Royce White moving down the court got in his head a little bit. And no good there. Doug Herring Jr. with the offensive rebound, though. Herring's going to reset things, slow it down a little bit. He'll go out to Singleton. Royce White Makes the pass out to Johnson. Tips slightly, but Johnson from the free throw line will not go. Blakeney with the rebound. Out to Caliste. So Caliste. Blakeney trying to knife in there. He'll set up. Tyrone Dixon swings it out. Tremar Sutherland.
Shooter's roll right there.
Big 3 basket for the Titans. Lightning looking like they're in no hurry on offense right now. 14-point lead. Setting things up. White's going to take it himself, and we'll get a foul on Tyrone Dixon here. He doesn't like the call.
Happy birthday in the house tonight. Happy birthday to Pamela Rodriguez. That's coming up tonight.
So 17 fouls already for the Titans.
Well, it just kind of shows the refs have been keeping their eye on a lot of stuff as the game's gone on.
Royce White. Still no good from the free throw line.
I did this.
Royce looking to recover. And yes.
The curse is broken.
1 for 4, better than none for 4. All right. Cavale Johnson in there to Jason Caliste. Caliste to swing it out himself. Greg Morrow with the 3 look. No good. Cavale Johnson tries for the rebound. Lightning will take it out of his hands. Kyle Johnson moving quickly down the floor. Big block by Tyrone Donk. And Kyle Johnson will finish.
Kyle Johnson just was determined to get those points on that one.
So less than a minute left now. Marv Phillips back in the game. A lot of hand fighting underneath right now. KW will grab their own rebound. Tremar Sutherland working with the ball. He'll swing it over to Johnson. Johnson will go in. He'll get the hoop. And he'll take the foul there as well.
Again, Cavale Johnson, a very experienced big for the KW Titans. Just a very nice, smooth move to the bucket.
So he'll take one more. Try and cut this down to a 14-point Lightning lead. And that's good. 78-64 for the London Lightning. 30 seconds left. Herring Jr. will take his time getting down the court. And that's a steal. Ill-advised pass there. Man close in behind on Marv Singleton.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for the Lightning now. They got 13 seconds to get the shot off.
So he'll throw in quickly to Marv. Back to Herring Jr. Friesen. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. He'll take a very deep 3.
Joel Friesen.
And sometimes they just want to go in. And that's a turnover there. Marv Phillips with some time. And just maybe a little too much going on there.
Well, they were definitely looking to get Singleton some points there.
So that's the end of your third quarter. We've got the London Lightning 81, the Kitchener-Waterloo Titans 64.
You're watching Knockstrom TV. Thank you for watching. Continue to watch for the fourth quarter.
We have contestants every game, and if they can hit a certain number of free throws, they get to come back April the 30th to try to win a brand new Jeep Renegade. Make some noise for Pete. London Lightning products. This could be you in another London Lightning home game. Please.
All right, folks, welcome back to London for the fourth quarter. Lightning once again lead 81-64. Kitchener-Waterloo to start out with the ball. Jamar Sutherland. Little float pass there to Whitfield. And that's going to be a turnover by the Titans. Ryan Anderson looking to move Boyd in place. He'll swing out to Kyle Johnson. Kyle Johnson. Big pass there to Anderson, looking for the 3-ball. 5 to shoot. Kyle Johnson. And the long 2 will not go. Boyd playing tough there to grab the rebound. And that ball is everywhere. The ref decides that's Lightning ball.
Yeah, a little bit of chaos there to start the quarter.
Couple turnovers. Ball bouncing funny off some hands. And the Lightning will get another crack at it. Oh, Friesen to inbound. Julian Boyd swings it to Ryan Anderson. Phillips with the screen. Back to Kyle Johnson. He'll take the 3-ball over Whitfield. That will just go in and out. Whitfield with the rebound. Calise back up the floor. Whitfield down to Cavale Johnson. Nice little jumper for 2.
And Cavale Johnson, just a very nice bucket right there. He's got that short jumper. A lot of people kind of forget about that. And some good passing opened it up.
Friesen moving around. Marv Phillips, wide open 3. That'll go off the rim. Calise with a deep pass. Whitfield down there cherry picking. Phillips is going to pick up the foul on him though.
Yeah, just gave him a shove to make sure it wasn't an easy 2. I'm okay with that. Again, Flynn Whitfield just all over the court for the Titans when he's out there.
So Whitfield's going to take 2 more. And he'll go 1 for 1.
Again, Flynn Whitfield, I've called about 15 or so of his games. I've seen a lot of the guy. This has probably been the best game I've called with him in it. I should rephrase that. It's been the best I've seen him play of all those Flynn Whitfield games that I've seen.
So Anthony Criswell will check in here for the Lightning. Adam Wing to come on here for the Titans. Ryan Anderson moving up the court. Boyd will give him some lead blocking. Friesen. He's going to get inside. Patient, but can't make the shot go. Jamar Sutherland. He'll go back to Wing. Out to Whit. Blazik to Jamar Sutherland with the 3-ball. That'll be too much. And that'll be an offensive foul, I believe,
That's
on Whitfield.
That's going to be bad. That's number 4 on Whitfield there.
10 minutes left in the game. That's a guy you need on the court.
He's been doing a good job of playing with that foul situation. But at least now he's gone to the fourth quarter, still only at 3. Went that whole third quarter without picking up a foul. So it's not as bad as it could have been, but still not the guy you want taking a foul.
So Cavale Johnson's going to check out. We are going to get Paul Cooper back in the game in his place. Kyle Johnson over to Boyd. Boyd looks to make a move inside. So Cooper with the block, but I believe we've got a foul on Adam Blazik here. Sorry, that's Adam Wing.
I think it might actually be Cooper. I don't know if it was clean there.
And you can be our northern fan of the game at an upcoming Lightning home game.
We'll find out shortly. Ooh, that is going to be on Adam Wing.
These eyes don't lie. So Julian Boyd for 2 here. 1 of 1.
You know, that front court for KW, they got a lot of guys in that front court, so it hasn't been a huge problem, but Blakeney and Dixon also have 3 fouls on top of Whitfield's 4, so...
Yeah, I believe we had a lot of accumulation for most of their front court in that third quarter there. Whitfield really the only guy in trouble coming out of the half, and it's going to be important for them to keep that rotation at least fresh and keep them on the floor. You definitely don't want to go small against this lineup.
Well, it shows the improvements KW's made to their roster. Earlier in the year, front court depth a real big issue. Now they can kind of comfortably deal with a foul situation.
So Tremar Sutherland with another 3-ball that won't go. Ryan Anderson's going to snatch the rebound. 3-point shooting a real big issue for them so far. And Boyd can't get that shot to go. So Wing moving things around. Tremar Sutherland, he'll try and take it on the interior. Wing's going to take a 3-ball. That's not going to go. Friesen with the rebound. Garrett Williamson moving up the court. He's going to go into Criswell. Great finish there by Criswell on the lay-in.
Anthony Criswell, just such an athletic big to have. And a real luxury for the Lightning to have him, as well as guys like White and Phillips and Boyd all in that front court. In that front court, one of the reasons London's done so much damage. We've seen Criswell have his 20-point games, though. He's chipped in almost as much as those guys have. And you feel like he could start for a lot of teams in this league. He's that good.
So Tremar Sutherland heads in tough to the rim. Garrett Williamson's going to foul him. So Sutherland.
Just to kind of highlight the shooting troubles that the KW Titans have had tonight, though, Flynn Whitfield's got 18 points, and no one else on the roster has broken 10 yet.
So it's a 15-point game. Lightning 85, Titans 70. Anderson's going to move down here. Ed Horton playing tight on him. Criswell tried to set up the screen. He'll move away. Julian Boyd, he's going to go in there tough to the rim. He'll pick up the foul.
Julian Boyd, just a very tough play, would not be stopped on his way to the rim. Did Flynn Whitfield just pick up a foul there?
I believe that was Whitfield with number 5. So he's now playing on a very, very, very short rope. And we'll see if they bring Whitfield out here.
I believe we've got Greg Morrow about to check in. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Whitfield coming out for him.
So Boyd will sink the and one. And Whitfield will pass the ball off the ref. And Morrow's going to check in for him. Morrow in there to Ed Horton. Horton swings it over to Wing. Wing to Blazik. Inside to Cooper. He makes a move along the baseline, trying to go around Julian Boyd. Can't get the shot to fall. Criswell. Blazik grabs the ball. Criswell on his bum finds the ball on a rebound.
Some keister rebounds from Anthony Criswell right there.
And I believe we're going to get a call against the Titans there.
I want to say that was Adam Wing reaching in there.
So we'll have the Lightning inbounds from their own end here.
For Adam Wing, that would be his third if it is indeed on him. Pardon me, it's Adam Blazik. 5:15, they look the same up here.
So 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Julian Boyd. Wing playing tough against him. Boyd tries to get the spin off the glass. It won't go. And that ball is going to go out on the Titans. We'll get Lightning ball with a full shot clock. And Herring Jr. here to inbounds. We'll get Ryan Anderson. Greg Morrow on him tight. Anderson, Criswell with a wide open shot for 3. It won't go. Anderson's going to snag the rebound. Criswell, and that'll be an offensive foul.
Yeah, good job by Adam Blazik to jump in there and get in the way of the clear path.
She looks surprised, but we're happy to have her here in the Lightning game tonight.
Rebounds have really been swinging in London's favor. It's 43-32 on the boards for the Lightning. More impressively, 11 offensive rebounds for the Bolts.
So Ed Horton's going to go tough in himself. Can't get his first shot off. Recovers it, though. And we'll get a foul here. I believe Julian Boyd's going to pick it up on Paul Cooper.
Oh, they're going to tee up Serge Langus there.
The Titans coach not too impressed. His assistant coach will come out, surge off the court.
That's got to be a first that there was a foul in his team's benefit, and then he got teed up after. I mean, Boyd was the one who fouled.
Very odd situation. Obviously not liking something the Lightning are doing that he believes they're getting away with. So Cooper goes in and out on his first shot. And he will make his second, though. And then Anderson's going to take the shots for the technical here. And yes!
Made you wait for it.
It's much more entertaining. So we're going to have Royce White and Marcus Capers step back on the court here. Going with a little bit of a more defensive look. Doug Herring Jr. Garrett Williamson with the ball. He'll go there to Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson finding Garrett Williamson, and he'll go inside for two. We've got a 20-point Lightning lead right now, 91-71.
Yeah, the defense that KW was doing so well in the second quarter has kind of disappeared. London on a 10-7 run in this quarter.
So Wing trying to move in hard there against Ryan Anderson. Off the glass, no good. Anderson with the rebound. He'll go out to Herring Jr. Capers trying for the alley-oop pass. Garrett Williamson. Some very quick ball movement right now for the Lightning. Anderson's going to go to White. White will take the jumper just inside the line. It's not going to go. Adam Blazik with the rebound. Royce White's going to play tough out on him. Morrow will swing out there to Horton. Horton's going to go in tough to Garrett Williamson.
And that'll be a foul on Williamson.
Bucket and one.
Happy birthday to Ann up on the big screen right now. Happy birthday, Ann. Thanks for coming out to the Lightning game tonight.
So Garrett Williamson will take the harm there. And the Titans are going to take a timeout. Down 18 points.
It's going to be a tough one for KW. And really, I think it comes down to the three-point shots because they had success on the inside, but if you aren't making your three-pointers, then there's no real threat. They're 7 of 29 from the three-point line, and if you make even just 4 more of those, you open up things on the inside, which is where things were working for the KW Titans. For London, I mean, it's basically been them posing questions, and KW's been the team that has had to come up with the answers. London's been able to do a lot of the things that they want to do offensively, and it was up to KW to respond. And aside from Glenn Whitfield, there haven't been a ton of guys on KW with any sort of noise to their response. Again, Whitfield's still the only player in double-digit points for the Titans, and with him sitting at 5 fouls, we likely won't see much more of him until closer to the end of this quarter.
Offensive rebounds, 12 for the Lightning, only 4 for the Titans. Second chance points, just non-existent there for the Titans.
Yeah, it's been a rough go for the Titans. I look at the points off of turnovers. The turnovers 16 on KW, 11 on London. It's not a huge difference, but London's turned that into points with 17 compared to only 5 off of turnover for the KW Titans. And so I think London, it kind of illustrates the fact that London has just been able to execute on their opportunities and KW just really hasn't. And it's not that KW's played a bad game, they haven't, but if you make a couple more of those opportunities, maybe we got a different game here.
And just to mention, Julian Boyd has picked up 5 fouls. Good chance we probably don't see him the rest of the way here.
Yeah, looking at the foul situation, Dixon and Blakeney at 3. Of course, Whitfield at 5 for KW. And then for the London Lightning, Boyd at 5, Phillips and White with 3. Although White picked up his third a long time ago. He's been very good since.
Playing a clean game, playing a quiet game, but obviously, picking up the assists, making room for the rest of his team, which is why maybe we have a guy like Joel Friesen leading the team with 15 points, all on made threes right now.
5 for 6 from the three-point line.
And Herring Jr. trying to get Capers a little Showtime dunk there. And that pass will just sail through his hands. So Horton will let this one roll a little bit. And we'll get the clock going. So he'll swing it out to Wing. Wing's going to take that 3 ball. And, Cooper
That kind of night.
cannot get the dunk to finish. And yeah, the ball just is not falling Kitchener's way tonight.
Sometimes there's just a lid on the rim.
Another 3-point. Capers in there real tough against Cooper in the corner. And Capers going to get called for the foul here.
Yeah, Capers, size-wise, it was quite the mismatch. Really did a good job holding up, though. There's not a whole lot you can do. Eventually, the ref's going to see so much contact, he has to make a decision, and that's what happened.
So Greg Morrow is going to come off here. Jason Kalist in his place. Blazik, he'll turn around with the quick jumper, and that will not go. Shooting woes just continuing here for the Titans. Doug Herring Jr. out to Garrett Williamson. White will peel off the screen there. Williamson will find his own way, and the bucket won't go. Trying for his own rebound. He'll find White out there. Doug Herring Jr. moving to the interior. Williamson, that time he finds his way to the rim. Just resilient play there by Williamson. And Anderson with the hard foul there against Blazik.
Just kind of stuck the hip check out there. He's joking a bit about it.
So that's 3 on Ryan Anderson. Blazik to take 2.
Yeah, London over the limit. So everything's going to be foul shots from here out.
Maybe with the lead as it is, Lightning maybe not afraid to play a little more aggressively. Get them to the foul line. Don't give them those open 3 looks.
I think it's more of in desperation on the KW end. They're now some of their guys are starting to move a bit. Might be too late, but starting to find that second gear that they didn't have throughout most of this game.
Doug Herring Jr.
Unfortunately, it hasn't turned into points.
Out to Williamson. Royce with the ball. He's going to make a move on Cooper. And that's not going to go. He can't get it off the glass there. It'll go off the side of the board. Kalist, no good. White down at the other end with the rebound. And they're going to do a little switch behind the back there to Anderson. He'll find White on the interior. And that's Blazik with the foul. Just holding on for dear life there, not making it easy on Royce.
Yeah. I mean, when you've got a guy Royce White's size, about to take a step in towards the basket, just grab his arm. That's exactly what happened. Hold on. Hasn't been a great free throw night for Royce White. He makes that one. So maybe a little bit of, I don't know, a way to say hack a shack in a clever way for Royce White, but maybe a little bit of that strategy.
That'll make him 4 for 8. That's 4 for 9 on that miss there. Under 50% free throw shooting. But Lightning's grabbed the rebound. Herring Jr. tough in the interior. White's going to dunk it. That's going to get the fans a little excited.
And we talk about the little things, just those small little swings. That was a chance where KW could have come away only giving up 1 point. Instead, you give up 3.
And that's going to bounce around a little bit. They're going to say that went off White's leg and out of bounds there. Just a touch over 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. 20-point Lightning lead.
Nice little ovation for Royce White as he checks out of the game. Won't be seeing too much more of him unless something a little crazy happens.
So Capers, he's playing tough D against Kalist. So he'll pick up a foul. Kalist's going to shoot 2. And that's going to be Capers' third.
I've liked Kalist's game so far. He hasn't really forced a ton of shots, but he made some threes earlier and was one of the only guys who could really do that. But again, like a lot of the KW players, hasn't been a lot of sustained momentum.
Just 2 for 7 on his shooting. Both of those are three-pointers. So Khalees, let's take a couple here. Kyle Johnson, Anthony Criswell, checking in for the Lightning. Tyrone Dixon there. Some toughness on the interior as well with Cavale Johnson stepping in. So Ed Horton's going to step off here. Herring Jr. over the timeline. Back to Anthony Criswell. He's going to make a tough move inside and lose the handle.
Thought he had Capers there.
Sutherland letting that one roll out to Khalees. Adam Blazik with a wide open three. They didn't defend and he hits it. Oh, quick turnover there for the Titans. Sutherland. Oh,
Goaltend.
They're going to call goaltend. Great effort, but just a little too late off the glass there.
But hey, there's a nice little point swing in KW's favor. It's been a while since we've been able to say that, so
14-point deficit.
I know it's a lot, but there is time.
The London Lightning 96, KW Titans 82. Garrett Williamson with the dribble, trying to get around Cavale Johnson. He'll go to the rim. Capers looked for the finish. The ball's not there, but we'll get the foul anyway. Williamson's going to go to the line here. One for Williamson. And 2 for 2. So Blazik, he'll swing back to Tremar Sutherland. Gonna find Jason Khalees. Khalees looked like he was gonna go for the shot. Nice pass back into the interior, gets himself to the rim. Great movement there by the Titans.
Yeah, just a nice little set play. Or I don't know if it was set, pardon me, but a nice little play there. Khalees, recognizing that shot was likely going to be contested, made a really nice play instead.
Herring Jr. Oh, my goodness, what a block there by the Titans. Herring Jr. goes down hard. He's going to find himself back up, and for Anthony Criswell with the 3-ball.
I mean, if you're KW, you get like a really nice momentum play with that block, and then Tony Criswell comes and nails a 3. Sometimes it's just not your night.
So Khalees is going to back Johnson up here. Dixon trying to get in his way. Cavale Johnson, 3-ball won't go. Dixon plays the rebound back to Tremar Sutherland. Khalees over to Blazik. And Garrett Williamson's going to pick up the foul. And that'll be number 3 on him.
Birthday to Laura up on the big screen right now. She looks shocked. Happy birthday, girl.
Bench scoring decidingly close here. 38 points for the Lightning, 36 for the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the foul situation with Flenn Whitfield, and KW really does like to rotate as many as they can. But it just didn't work out tonight.
It just speaks to the depth of the Lightning as a team.
That they always have an answer.
So Doug Herring in tight there, double team on him. He'll try and make the pass out. Dixon into the fans there.
Almost landed on Lightning photographer Stu Switzer down there.
Not looking too worse for the wear.
Well, I hope you got a good photo at least if you're going to get scared like that.
Fans, don't forget the London Lightning scored over 100
So that's going to be a lightning ball there. 11 seconds to shoot. We're down under 2 minutes to play. Doug Herring Jr. Down to 5. He's going to try and find his way inside. Basket won't go. Dixon with the rebound. He'll move out there to Morrow. Morrow's going to go one-on-one to the basket.
Charge.
Charge on Greg Morrow. Williamson standing his ground there. Only Morrow's first of the game. Not a lot of minutes tonight for Morrow. Doug Herring Jr. just slowly up the court here. Almost down to a minute and a half. Still a 15-point Lightning lead. Doug Herring swings it over to Criswell. He'll leave it there for Kyle Johnson. Kyle Johnson. Greg Morrow with the block on the shot attempt there.
Two
Capers
blocks.
goes up and blocked again. And Tremar Sutherland from 3, and he'll go no good. And we'll get a foul here on Kyle Johnson. Cavell Johnson's going to shoot 2.
Should point out Blazek's free throws not that long ago, believe it or not, made him only the second player to break double-digit points for KW.
All right, so Cavell Johnson. Maybe shorten the lead here a little bit, and he'll miss. Capers with the rebound. He'll go to Herring Jr. And we'll work our way under a minute left in the game. And a close first defensive half. And really the story of the game will just be the Titans not being able to put their shots. Kyle Johnson at the buzzer, no go. Criswell's going to get the rebound and go for a shot attempt, no good. Dixon with the ball. And Sutherland will move it down. Caliste in hard there to Cavell Johnson. Cavell, and he'll sink the bucket and 1. Only the first foul there. On Herring Jr. And the free throw won't go. Dixon hustling for the ball. He makes some friends in the fan. The ball bouncing around all over the court. And Kyle Johnson's going to take the reach there on Tremar Sutherland. And so we're down under 25 seconds. 12-point lead for the Lightning. And the fans here on their feet for another great game from the hometown London Lightning. Really a great defensive effort. Garrett Williamson in there to Doug Herring Jr. He'll just wind the clock down here. No shot clock anymore. Nobody in a hurry. And Lightning and their fans will celebrate a 3rd win in a row. That'll move the London Lightning into 21-4. Kitchener-Waterloo will drop to 11-14. And that's official there, folks. Nothing left but the handshakes. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast tonight. I'm Brendan Jameson, and they're now moving down to the court for Chris and Aaron in the post-game show.
As the Lightning Dance Pack danced their final number this evening, the London Lightning pull a 101-91 victory over the KW Titans. Courtside once again with Chris Croucher for the Nordstrom postgame. And you got to give your hats off to Kitchener-Waterloo. They played so ferocious inside of the second half, but once again, it was a gap that they could not contain or close at all.
Yeah, and I think we saw an improved KW team because in the past when we had seen this team, they didn't really have the front court depth to match London, and while they didn't quite match them tonight, they did a good job of rotating their bigs, and they showed a lot more than I think London was quite ready for. But unfortunately, there's a there's a thing with London, and that's that they win a lot, and that's what happened here tonight. London was able to win that front court battle, and they did it again.
Leonard Whitfield leads the scoring for the Titans with 18 points. A lot of courageous effort from him, and we talked about during the halftime how big of a benefit he is to KW ever since signing up with them. I mean, hats off to him. You got to give the game ball to him, but now what does he have to do to keep this KW team from losing 2 straight in the future?
Well, I think for this game it was a matter of fouls. They really could have used Glenn Whitfield in this game, and it happens sometimes. The fouls were just too much for him, and there wasn't really anyone on KW who could get going. But I said it during the broadcast. That was one of the best games I saw from Glenn Whitfield. I've been calling a lot of his games in the past. I thought that was an excellent effort. For KW, what can you build on from this? I think there were a lot of positives. There's a lot of things they did well. It's just doing things well against the London Lightning doesn't necessarily mean a win, and that's what happened tonight.
That's right. KW finished off shooting 40% from the field. They shot 22% from the three-point line, which killed them. You live by the 3, you die by the 3, and that's what cooked their goose for 1 point. On the other hand, the London Lightning, they did well. Royce White led scoring with 16 points, so typically not a double-double for him, but he picked up 6 rebounds and 4 assists, and I think he was one of the reasons why the front court prevailed here tonight.
Well, he was really a catalyst, especially in that first half when we saw KW constantly was bringing a help defender, and Royce White did a great job of identifying the guy behind the three-point line, identifying the open man, and taking advantage of the fact that there was going to be someone open every time that double team came. And I thought that was what Royce White did exceptionally in the first half, and he continued to do it all game. Unfortunately for KW, and this shows how good White is, you can't stop doing that. You had to continue to double Royce White, but you had to do it knowing that you were still leaving a guy open. Royce White presents that much of a problem that, you know, despite the fact that they knew he was going to hurt them that way, you still had to do it because if you left him alone, he'd do just as much damage.
And at the end of it, the London Lightning shot better beyond the arc than they did field goals. 43% from the three-point line, 40% from the field, and they got a big contest ahead of them. Basically 3 games in the next 4 days. Saturday, they're at Orangeville. Sunday, they're at KW to play against the Titans once again, and then Monday, which what I think a big contest once again when they come here play against the Orangeville A's. And it's always a big game when it comes to Orangeville and London, considering the big guys like Justin Moss and Stefan Nastic.
Well, just having those guys, we talked about the front court battle tonight. Orangeville has a starting front court that is capable of performing just as well as the Lightning's. On some nights, you could argue Justin Moss is one of the best players in the league. And Stefan Nastic is a legitimate 7-footer. I know he's listed 6'11", but, you know, sometimes you see a guy at their listed height and you go, 7 foot, I don't know. I think that's more like 6'10", 6'9". Stefan Nastic is every bit 6'11". He's a very, very good big, and he's got some skill to him, too.
And for a former player of the week like himself, it's no question it's going to be a dynamic contest. We see White pit against him Monday night. Kitchener-Waterloo, they go to Orangeville tomorrow in a St. Paddy's Day battle. Always a great battle when it comes to both clubs, but what do you expect from KW and Orangeville tomorrow night?
Well, I think it'll be interesting because we saw KW a lot more capable in the front court. So Orangeville having guys like Justin Moss, I don't know how great their depth is. We mentioned the Daquan Cook trade. Maybe that Orangeville depth finally kicks in a bit. But I think the front court depth of KW could give them some troubles in that Orangeville game. Or pardon me, in the KW game against Orangeville.
And it's something to look out to, no question about it. We'll see you guys back here on Monday. Chris, once again, for your help. Brendan did a great job. Everybody in the crew here on a great Thursday night debacle like we had here right here. So the Family Feud is won by Kyle Julius and the London Lightning 101-91. We wrap it up right here. Be sure to tune in here on Nordstrom.tv Monday night. London Lightning play host to the Orangeville Ace. We'll see you then. This has been a presentation of Knoxham Digital Media, producing the media excellence in Southern Ontario. Thank you all for watching. For Chris Croucher, this be Aaron Sanders saying so long from the Forest City.